There's a strange kind of freedom that comes the moment you stop trying to control everything. You stop clinging to the what-ifs and what might go wrong, and suddenly life begins to move. Worry, for all its noise, is like a cage made of shadows. It keeps you stuck in a future that doesn't even exist yet, stealing away the calm and strength you already carry within. But when you begin to let go, when you choose to trust the rhythm of life instead of wrestling with it, something powerful happens. The current shifts. Life, in its quiet wisdom, starts aligning with you, not because you forced it, but because you finally made space for it to flow. In this video, I'm going to share 7 timeless Buddhist lessons, gentle but powerful teachings that can help you step out of the grip of worry and into the peace that's been quietly waiting for you all along. Lesson 1. Fear is a seed. Plant it and it grows. In Buddhist thought, the energy you carry within becomes the world you see outside. Fear isn't just an emotion, it's a lens, and the more you look through it, the more distorted your reality becomes. The irony is this: when you fear something deeply, you begin to live as though it's already true. You unconsciously breathe life into it. Imagine this: you're afraid of losing your job. That fear seeps into your actions. You hesitate, second-guess, shrink. That anxiety, it clouds your judgment. You may even start to withdraw, and without meaning to, you drift toward the very outcome you feared. The same is true in relationships. Fear of abandonment can make us cling or doubt, and that very tension can push others away. It's not fate working against you, it's fear working within you. Buddhism teaches that the mind is like soil. It doesn't judge what you plant. Whether you sow seeds of fear or seeds of calm, the mind will help them grow. But you are the gardener. You choose what takes root. This doesn't mean pretending everything is perfect. It means shifting your attention away from fear and toward presence. When fear rises, pause, breathe. Ask yourself, is this thought helping me build peace or feeding panic? You are not powerless. You are the creator of your inner landscape, and when your inner world changes, your outer world begins to reflect it. Let go of fear and watch how life begins to soften, open and flow in ways you never expected. Lesson 2. True strength is found in surrender. In today's world, we're often told that strength means control. Control your time, control your success, control the outcome, push harder, plan more, hold on tighter. But Buddhist wisdom offers something radically different and far more freeing. It tells us that real strength isn't about gripping tighter, it's about letting go. Not giving up, but giving over the illusion that we can shape every moment, every person, every outcome with our will alone. Surrender in the Buddhist sense is not weakness. It's a sacred release. It's the art of doing what you can and then stepping back with trust, allowing karma and life's natural flow to unfold. Picture holding water in your palm. The tighter you squeeze, the faster it slips away. But if your hand is open, the water stays. That's surrender. Not passive, not careless, just open. It's a quiet confidence that says, I've done my part. Now I trust life to meet me halfway. When we stop interfering, something beautiful happens. Our energy returns. Our mind becomes clear. We start noticing opportunities we were too anxious to see before. Help arrives from places we didn't expect. Life begins to work with us, not against us. Buddhism teaches that surrender is not an end. It's a beginning. It's the start of true freedom. And in that freedom, you don't lose power. You discover it. Lesson 3. Anxiety belongs to tomorrow. Peace belongs to now. Buddhist wisdom reminds us of a simple truth. Anxiety cannot exist in the present moment. It lives in the mind's projections. What might happen? what could go wrong, what we fear is coming, but none of that is real. It's all a movie playing in the future. When you feel anxious, notice where your mind is. It's racing ahead, building stories, spinning scenarios, dragging you into a world that doesn't yet exist, a world of what-ifs and maybes. And while you're there, you miss the only place life truly exists. Right here. This moment, this breath, is your home. And in this space, you are okay. You are breathing. You are grounded. You are enough. Buddhism calls this practice mindfulness, the gentle act of returning to now. And every time you return, you weaken anxiety's grip. Because in the present, there is nothing chasing you. No future to fear. Only this still, quiet second where life is unfolding, one breath at a time. The mind may roar, but the present moment whispers. And the more you listen, the more you realize. Peace isn't something you find out there. It's already within you, buried beneath the noise, waiting to be remembered. Lesson 4. The burden of imagined fears. So much of what weighs on our minds never even happens. Buddhist wisdom offers a quiet, powerful reminder. Our greatest source of anxiety often isn't reality, it's imagination. We worry, stress, and lose sleep over scenarios that never unfold. We carry fears like invisible stones in our backpack, dragging them through each day, even though most of them never come to pass. Why does this happen? Because the human mind is like a novelist that never stops writing. It scripts endless what-ifs, painting vivid pictures of problems that don't exist yet and maybe never will. It warns us of disasters, heartbreaks, and failures that live only in thought, not in the present moment. Think about it. How many times have you braced for a difficult conversation that ended up being fine, or feared the worst about a situation that resolved itself peacefully? The storm rarely arrives the way we imagined it, and often it doesn't come at all. This is the trap of worry. It distorts scale. It brings distant fears so close that we start reacting to illusions as if they're truths. Buddhism teaches us just because a thought appears doesn't mean it deserves belief. The mind can create stories, but we don't have to live inside all of them. So the next time you catch yourself spiraling into anxiety, pause. Ask yourself gently, is this actually happening or is this just a thought? Often you'll realize you've been fighting shadows, not substance. Freedom begins when we return to this moment. Not tomorrow, not next week, but now. Let the imagined fears dissolve. What's real is often far gentler than what we fear, and when you stop living in the mind's predictions, life starts to feel lighter, clearer, and much more peaceful. Lesson 5. Control blocks. Faith. Here's a truth that's hard to swallow, yet deeply freeing. You can't hold the steering wheel and still believe the road will carry you. Buddhism reminds us that control and faith are like two travelers heading in opposite directions. The more tightly you grip control, the further you drift from trust, and the more deeply you trust, the more you must let go. Trying to micromanage every part of your life is like saying to the universe, "I don't believe you'll take care of me." It's a subtle but powerful form of fear, the fear that without your constant supervision, everything will fall apart. But has that control ever truly brought peace? Often, the more we try to dominate outcomes, the more tangled we become in anxiety, tension, and fatigue. Control might give the illusion of safety, but it's often driven by a quiet panic underneath. Faith, on the other hand, isn't passive. It's powerful. It whispers, "I've done what I can. Now I trust the unfolding." It allows you to take action without being enslaved by the result. It welcomes mystery. It believes in timing you can't control and outcomes you may not fully understand. Yet, Buddhist teachings call this the release of attachment. You act with intention, but you surrender the obsession with how things must turn out. Like placing a seed into the soil, you water it, nurture it, but you don't yank at it to speed its growth. Real growth takes trust in unseen roots. Ask yourself, are you holding on so tightly that you've forgotten how to breathe? Are you trying so hard to force a future that you've stopped believing in life's quiet intelligence? Letting go isn't giving up. It's showing up fully and then allowing life to meet you in its own way. That's where faith begins, and with it, peace. Lesson 6. Letting go is how you begin to grow. Worry has a quiet way of shrinking your world. It starts subtly, a few cautious thoughts, a bit of over-planning, a fear of what might go wrong. You tell yourself you're just being careful, but over time, that carefulness becomes a cage. You begin to shrink without noticing. You shrink your goals because they feel too uncertain. You shrink your voice because you fear judgment. You shrink your heart because it's safer not to risk being hurt. Worry doesn't protect, it restricts. It's like walking. You shift your focus to what's truly yours, your thoughts, your choices, your kindness, and release what was never meant to be held so tightly. Picture this. You're in a river. The more you try to cup the water in your hands, the faster it slips through your fingers. But when you relax, when you float, the river carries you. That's the essence of surrender. The more you release the grip of fear, the more room you make inside yourself for courage, for creativity, for joy. Letting go is expansive. It's bold. It invites you back into the present, where life is actually happening. Not in the what-ifs, but in the right now. Ask yourself, how much energy do you spend each day worrying about things you can't control? And what if you poured that same energy into creating, into connecting, into trusting? When you stop trying to force life into your blueprint and begin to dance with its rhythm, something beautiful happens. You feel supported by something greater, the natural wisdom of existence itself. Letting go isn't weakness, it's bravery. It takes true strength to stop shrinking and deep courage to live with an open heart. So take a deep breath and feel the weight begin to lift. And remember, you don't have to carry everything. Freedom begins the moment you decide to let go. Lesson 7. Life flows best when you step aside. One of the most profound yet often overlooked truths in Buddhist wisdom is this: life moves most smoothly when we stop trying to control every part of it. The more we interfere, the more resistance we create. The tighter we hold on, the more chaos we invite. But when we step back, not from apathy but from trust, something beautiful begins to unfold. Life starts to move on its own, with a rhythm far wiser than anything we could plan. Still, letting go can feel uncomfortable. Many of us were raised to believe that control equals safety. We were taught that unless we're constantly fixing, checking, or managing, things will fall apart. So we overthink conversations, try to prevent problems before they arrive, chase outcomes that aren't ready, and obsess over every little detail, believing that without this control, we'll fall behind or fail. But all this constant control only creates tension. It drains our energy, clouds our thinking, and leaves us exhausted, trying to manage what was never ours to control in the first place. Buddhism offers a gentler path. It teaches that by letting go of the urge to interfere, we create space for life to move with its own wisdom. Just as a river naturally finds its course, your life can unfold with ease, if you stop blocking its flow with fear and tightness. Think back to times you tried to force something, a relationship, a job, a decision, only to watch it fall apart. Then recall the moments when you let go, breathed deeply, and simply allowed life to unfold. More often than not, things worked out just fine. Your worry and need to control are like stones thrown into a stream. They disrupt the flow. But when you stop interfering, the water runs clear again. Life is no different. Trying to control everything doesn't bring safety, it only adds pressure. It can turn open doors into heavy burdens. Worse, you might block better paths that would have appeared if only you had stepped aside. So how can you begin practicing this truth? Start by simply observing. Notice when you're holding on too tightly, checking your phone for a reply over and over, second-guessing a decision, or pushing someone or something to move faster than it's ready to. Ask yourself, what would happen if I loosened my grip? What if you did what was truly needed and released the rest? Letting go doesn't mean giving up. It means knowing what's yours to act on and trusting life with the rest. You plant the seed, you water it, but you don't pull on it to make it grow faster. Growth, like healing, takes its own time. Picture holding a delicate butterfly in your hands. If you grip it tightly, afraid it will fly away, you'll crush it. But if you keep your hands soft and open, it may stay longer or return again after it leaves. Your goals, your relationships, your peace of mind, they all need space to breathe. The harder you try to hold them, the faster they slip away. But when you offer space, they start to grow on their own. That's when life begins to shift. The right people arrive, the right opportunities appear. Answers seem to arise without force. You begin to feel supported, not by your struggle, but by something greater than you. Your heart softens. You realize that what you were afraid wouldn't happen without your control was never meant to be forced in the first place. At the root of our interference is often fear. Fear of failure, loss, or inadequacy. But the deeper truth is this: life doesn't ask for perfection, it asks for trust. A steady, quiet trust in the unfolding of your path. You don't have to direct every scene. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is simply show up and allow the story to unfold. So pause now. Reflect on one area where you may be holding on too tightly. Is it a conversation that replays in your mind? A decision you're forcing? A goal you're chasing too hard? Ask yourself, what would it feel like to let go, not from apathy, but from deep trust? The moment you loosen your grip, life begins to move. That's when synchronicity appears. That's when grace enters. And that's when you realize you were never meant to do this alone. Buddhism reminds us we're not here to conquer life. We're here to move in harmony with it. Life isn't a machine to control. It's a flow to experience. You can't calm the ocean, but you can learn to ride its waves. You can't force the tide, but you can move with it. Everything you've learned so far points to this. What you cling to, you hold back. What you release, you set free. And what you stop interfering with begins to grow on its own. You don't have to have it all figured out. Just take one step. Breathe deeply. Let go of the belief that your control is what holds the world together. Let today mark a new way of being. Let go of one worry. Trust one unknown. And allow life to surprise you with something far better than anything you could force. Because when you stop pushing, you open yourself to receive. When you stop interfering, life begins to move, not against you, but beside you. Conclusion. Life is not a battle to win. It's a rhythm to dance with. And the more you try to control, the more you miss the quiet beauty that grows from trust. Buddhism doesn't ask you to give up your responsibilities or stop caring. It simply invites you to release the burdens you were never meant to carry. It asks you to loosen your grip, release fear, and make space for life to unfold in its mysterious, beautiful way. As you move forward, remember this. You don't have to have all the answers. You don't need to fight the current. Your strength isn't in control, it's in alignment. Take a deep breath. Trust the timing of your life. And know that the moment you stop interfering, you step into a deeper clarity, peace, and purpose. If this message touched your heart, please give the video a thumbs up. It helps our community grow. Subscribe for more Buddhist wisdom and insights to support your journey. And if you know someone who's feeling overwhelmed or stuck, share this with them. It may be the gentle nudge they need. Finally, share in the comments. What's one thing you're ready to stop interfering with? I read every reflection, and your words bring light to this mindful space. Until next time, breathe deeply, trust fully, and walk gently through this brief, beautiful life. Stay present, stay free, and keep returning to the quiet truth of who you are.